It is a thrill. I love this show.
You're telling me a big fat lie.
I was hoping for funny crazy.
I will get on stage on Broadway and I will reenact the rantings of Charlie Sheen one day.
Think you can replace me with some other guy? Go ahead. It won't be the same.
'Tis mightiest in the mightiest.
Do not bring Shakespeare into this.
You're so smart.
Oh, really? Well, so are you.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to NSS. This is the Reynolds Report. Errol Brown, the lead singer of the 70s funk band Hot Chocolate, passed away Wednesday after a battle with liver cancer. He was 71. Hot Chocolate is best known for You Sexy Thing. It was a top 5 hit in 1976, but you still hear it in movies and commercials to this day. Rest in peace, Errol Brown. Speaking of deceased celebrities, for the last few years, people have talked about taking holograms of dead musicians out on tour. And thankfully, we've mostly managed to avoid that. But now there's a new threat on that horizon. A place called the National Comedy Center is opening in Jamestown, New York next year. And the people behind it want to feature a comedy club that would host performances by dead stand-up comedians in hologram form. Some of the names being tossed around include Milton Berle, Bob Hope, George Carlin, Rodney Dangerfield, and Lucille Ball. Nothing is official yet because they haven't made any deals with the comedians' estates. The plan is for the club to feature 10 to 12 routines of about 4 to 5 minutes each, allowing people to, quote, go back in time and witness a classic routine as if they were really there. In his new autobiography, It's a Long Story, My Life, Willie Nelson, Willie confirms one of the longest rumors out there. And he reveals that, yes, he once smoked marijuana on the White House roof. It was back in 1977 after former President Jimmy Carter invited Willie to an event at the White House. A White House insider, not President Carter, invited Willie to the roof for a night view of the nation's capital and pulled out a joint. Naturally, they both enjoyed. Pope Francis was made an honorary Harlem Globetrotter this week. They even gave him a nickname. Yeah, Big Hat Frankie. Now that it's been a few days, the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight has officially been ruled a square dance. Chuck Norris recently said he thinks the federal government may be trying to take over Texas. Sorry, but when it comes to the debate over the limitations of states' rights, I never weigh in until I've heard from Dolph Lundgren first. The NFL says it may punish Tom Brady for his involvement in Deflategate. It could be a fine, a suspension, or even worse, a trade to the Cleveland Browns. A new study on motherhood says Norway is the best place to be a mother. The worst place? Floyd Mayweather's house. Somebody on Wednesday paid over $66 million for a Van Gogh painting. So that's what Floyd Mayweather does with his money. Russian government officials have recently accused U2 of spreading a homosexual agenda. Then they remembered the photos of a shirtless Vladimir Putin riding around on a horse, and they shut the hell up. McDonald's has begun delivery service in New York City. Because if you're going to commit to being an unhealthy, inactive slob, you may as well go all the way. A North Carolina police officer is suing Starbucks for $50,000 for a free cup of coffee that he spilled in his lap. Police work is very dangerous. You never know when there's a mocha latte out there with your name on it. Approval has now been given to run a ferry service from Florida to Cuba. To get to Florida from Cuba, you don't need a ferry, you need a time machine. JetBlue announced that it will begin flights from New York City to Havana starting in July. Because when you're steaming hot in New York City in July, the one place you want to go to is somewhere even hotter. In an Indiana town of 800 people, the local school suspended 4 of its 5th graders for gang-like activity. Yes, they were selling highly addictive and illegal Skittles. Thanks, everybody. We have a new episode of The Reynolds Report for you every weekday. Be sure to check out The Being Frank Show, starring Frank D'Angelo, live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on NSS.